Okay, Alice, as I'm getting ready to do this problem, I'm remembering that the basic cotangent function has vertical asymptotes at 0, pi, negative pi, and that in each interval or period it goes something like this. Okay, I've got to remember that, otherwise I can't draw the graph. And the focus what you want to focus on when you're drawing a cotangent graph is where are the vertical asymptotes. And for this particular problem, in order to see that, we first have to factor out that pi. So we have pi times, that's like the b, x minus a half. And I wanted to draw this as a parentheses. There's a bracket. So in this form, the period is pi over b, but b is pi. So the period is 1. And there's a phase shift of a half a radian to the right. So as I'm getting ready to sketch this, first on scrap paper I'm going to ask myself, okay, where are the vertical asymptotes? They're going to be at 0, and the period is 1. So there's a basic period before the phase shift, and here at negative 1. But we have to move, and there's of course 1 here too. But we have to shift everything to the right by 1/2. So the easiest thing to do is picture moving these vertical asymptotes a half a unit to the right. So that one moves to the right a half, this one moves to the right a half, this one moves to the right a half. So where are the vertical asymptotes? Well, this one was at 1, so now it's at 3.5, or at 1.5. This one was at 0, it moved a half to the right, so now it's at a half. This one was at negative 1, so now it's at negative 1/2. Okay, and so now that I've got the idea, I can draw in just the lines that I need. I need 1.5 as a vertical asymptote. This is 1, this is 2. A half has a vertical asymptote. Negative 1/2 has a vertical asymptote. And that accounts for the phase shift. There is no amplitude. And by the way, the amplitude, all it does is make the curve grow more quickly or not grow quite as fast. But the curve's going to go like this. And it's going to go across the x-axis halfway between the asymptotes. So it's going to come like this and like this. Again, that's for the cotangent function. If you want another one, go out to 2.5. Because the period is 1, from 1.5 to 2.5 will be the next asymptote. And there's another branch, or another period, in the next period. And you can go backwards. Here's what it looks like on Desmos. I've just graphed this period from negative 1/2 to 1. Goes through that point. Not so easy to find out when it equals 1. But you could figure it out if you had to. Remember how we did that yesterday? Let y equal 1. So x minus pi over 2 would equal the inverse cotangent of 1. which is pi over 4. You add pi over 2 to both sides, and then divide by pi, and you'd have what x is. Okay, there you go. Hope that helps. Let me know if you need any additional clarification.